Hey guys, and welcome to our first College World Series regional preview. It's been a crazy season, so I did want to do something kind of special. Do a whole review of the tournament. So we'll go through all the groups and see what we can come up with here. In the Eugene Regional, we have Oregon, Marquette, Missouri, and Boston University. It's actually kind of a tough group. I mean, obviously Oregon is Oregon, and they've been really good all season, but they have dropped some games here and there. Southeast Louisiana, we lost to Ohio State and Binghamton as well. So it's definitely not, you know, a locked-in group because Missouri is actually pretty good as well. They have some good wins here. Um, Definitely came in sixth in the SEC, so they're definitely not a pushover there, or seventh, sorry. Um, and let's see about Marquette. They're not too impressive so far. I definitely think that's a easier matchup there. I definitely think Missouri can take that one, and so I do expect Oregon to win. But it's going to be tough. I wouldn't, I definitely think it could go all, into the winner takes all. In Group 2, in Charlottesville, we have Virginia, Duke, Texas Tech, and Southeast Missouri. I do think Virginia is probably the tournament favorites right now. They've just been solid all season long. I don't think they've lost a single series to anybody. No, got some decent wins. They've beaten Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi State, obviously Penn State. It's actually kind of a weird tournament because there's three teams from the College World Series last season that aren't even in the tournament. Uh, Penn State, Colorado, and Florida. Um, so Virginia, and they've beaten Florida State, Clemson. So yeah, they've just been solid all season. So I definitely think they're the favorites right now. And I think Bear Dillon's a very underrated coach. He's winning 81.6% of his games. He's been to, quite a few banners up there. So I do think they'll take it. I don't really see too much of a challenge here. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's going to be too challenging for them. Let's see. In Group 3, we have Texas A&M, Southeast Louisiana, Alabama, and Cleveland State. So this is going to be a tougher group for Texas A&M. This is actually my team as well, and this is our first time making the tournament since I took over 2 seasons ago. And obviously Alabama's been a really good team. We had a good series against them right at the end there, but yeah, we definitely have some tough series. We lost to Kentucky. We've beaten Kansas. Lost to Binghamton. So it's definitely going to be a good, good group there. I wouldn't be surprised if Alabama, can take a game or two there and win it. Because it's the regionals. One game can throw you off. But they've definitely been solid all season as well. Um, they're not being pushed around by good teams, and that's a good sign for them. Now let's check out the next group. We got Stanford, Iowa, Gulf Coast, and South Carolina State. So far, Stanford has been the best CPU team this season. I do think they'll take this group fairly easily. I don't think Iowa is too good here. I know they have some good wins. Ohio State lost to Purdue though, lost to Maryland. Came in third. The big was pretty challenging this season. Uh, Definitely an odd finish there for Ohio State as well. Um, but yeah, it might be a close group, but I do think Stanford's good enough for it. Group 5, we have Binghamton, They might also be a tournament favorite here as well. Their non-conference was actually crazy. So they beat Texas A&M. They beat Oregon as well. I mean, that's two out of the top three. They have good wins against Long Island. They beat Ohio State, Florida State. So they're definitely, a really tough team to get through. So I do think they will make it to the College World Series this season. But they're going to have to go through Long Island again. Even without Reigns there, they're still a pretty good team. They came in fourth in the Big East. So they're definitely no pushover either. But I do think Binghamton will be able to handle this challenge. And next off, we have the Lexington defending national champions, Kentucky. I do think they'll take this group again this year. Might be, might drop a game, but I think they'll take it in the end. Arizona State, they came in sixth in the Pac-12, which was actually the toughest conference talent-wise this season. They were just a step ahead above the SEC. Um, they do have some good wins. They beaten Oregon State. Had a close series with Stanford. They did lose to Colorado, but I don't believe Colorado's in. No, they're not. So yeah, they'll definitely, could make some noise there, but I don't really expect them to. Then we have Wake Forest. They came in fifth in the ACC. Let's see, got swept by Clemson, lost to BC twice. So yeah, I don't really think they're gonna make too much noise, but you never know. I mean, again, they can always take a random game here and there, and in the regionals, that's all you need. So now we have the next group in Lawrence. We got Kansas, Xavier, Rio Grande, and Valpo. So this should be an easy one for Kansas to take. I haven't really checked out Xavier too much this season. They came in second in the Big East, but no really too high quality wins here. They didn't. They did play Kansas earlier in the season, I guess, and got beat. It was actually kind of a little bit of a close series there, so maybe they can pull an upset there. But I don't expect either of these two teams there as well. Then we have the surprise Maryland. They've been getting better the last couple seasons, I believe. Yeah, they missed the tournament a couple times and then came back to getting ousted in the regionals, back-to-back seasons. But they were the surprise Big 12, Big 12 champs. Um, so they're definitely a good team. I do think they'll make it to supers. I don't think their group is really too hard. Yeah, just a few, smaller budget teams. So I don't think they're really gonna be too challenging here. Not really anything quality win-wise that I'm seeing. I mean, they played Louisiana State fairly close. Lost to Notre Dame, so yeah, I don't think it's going to be too challenging here. Yeah, they got swept by Georgia Tech, Youngstown, South Dakota, beat by Kansas. So I don't think that's going to be too challenging of a group. Next we have the Oklahoma Regional. This actually looks kind of like a tough one. Rutgers, they did have their coach return, but it's been inactive since, which is unfortunate because he was the one that built this team here, and he was a great coach back in the day. But he made it to the tournament finals here against Maryland, and they gave him a run for their money. So they're definitely going to be a challenge, as well as Wisconsin. I think they had a pretty decent season as well. They got some quality wins here. We're able to come in fifth, 17 and 13 in the big, so that's pretty good accomplishment there this season. But I don't think Wisconsin's as good as Rutgers. And then Presbyterian, they should be able to dispatch pretty easily. And then we have Mid 10 hosting a regional. It's kind of a surprise. They were a really good team in the non-conference. They only lost, I believe, one, two, three games in non-conference. They didn't dominate too much in the Conference USA, 23-7. It's a good record, but I don't think it would be good enough to host a regional. But that's just how the rankings play out. But I don't think their group's going to be too tough for them either. Rice might be able to make some noise. Uh, they played them earlier in the season, I believe. No, they skipped out on them. Sorry about that. Where was I? Mid 10, Mid 10. Oh, yeah, it looks like they did not play Mid 10 this year, actually. So that'll be a good challenge there for them. And Baylor, I don't think I mean, they came in fourth, but I think the Big 12 was kind of a little bit weak this season. Um, Texas is not very good. They've just had a coaching carousel all the time, obviously being a popular team. So they're just, kind of on the down right now. They make the tournament, fairly often, but again, they just go through a coaching carousel. So it's going to be tough for them until they get a consistent coach in that program. And what was that? So we have the Florida State Regional now. Um, they are champions 2 seasons ago. Yeah. That was actually Chuck Reed's first season, so shout out to him. He actually went in and somehow came out with the title that year. Definitely a great coaching job there. I expect him to be competing, fairly often now. Did come in third, but this was a tough conference. Georgia Tech is no pushover, and obviously Virginia is there as well. So let's see. Series, yeah, they had a close series with Virginia. Um, Lost to Georgia Tech. It wasn't too close, but I mean Georgia Tech is a good team that can go off as well. So other than that, they had a decent series with Binghamton. Did lose to Oklahoma as well as Ohio State, South Florida. So they're definitely up and down this season, but I think they can make some noise in this tournament. I think Boston College is a fairly decent team. I think they have some okay wins. Wake Forest, Georgia Tech. So I don't think they're a big pushover, but I do think Florida State can take that group. And then next off we have the Georgia Tech group coming in at the 12th rank. They got Purdue, Notre Dame, and Northern Illinois. Purdue was the early season #1. They went pretty far in without a loss, and then just somehow lost the series to Wyoming randomly. But once conference play started, they didn't do as good as expected. They went 17-13. But I do think the Big had a down year. Um, so I mean, we'll see what they're kind of made of once they get into this group. See if they can't take it off Georgia Tech. I don't think Notre Dame was too noticeable this season either. 34-28. They're probably one of the last bubble teams in, I would imagine. So yeah, I mean they beat Ohio State, Wisconsin, Purdue. I mean, so they do got some good wins, I guess. So I mean, we'll see how the group goes. Oh, they beat Texas A&M as well. So I mean, yeah, they might be able to pull an upset here or there. Definitely could actually be an interesting group. But I do think Georgia Tech is good enough to take that one in the end. And then we have the Clemson, South Carolina group. Um, Obviously, Clemson is hosting. Ohio State's just had a weird year. They had some really good wins in non-conference. I mean, they beat Oklahoma, Oregon State. Alaska is no pushover. They were first in the Mountain West. And then they beat Oregon, beat Florida State, and then they lost to Binghamton, beat Kentucky, beat Long Island, and then beat Rutgers. And then from there on, it was just, a 7-loss streak there. Just tough one there. I've never seen Ohio State lose that many in a row. I really never see Ohio State get swept at all, never mind 2 series there. So it's just a kind of a tough season for them. I think they're still a really good team, and I definitely wouldn't, be surprised if they can make it to the College World Series again. Obviously, Kenny is a super good coach. He knows what he's doing. Obviously, been there before with 2 titles and multiple College World Series. So it's rare to see them a little bit down, but I think they can beat Clemson. I don't think Clemson's got anything too noticeable. They got blown out in 2 games by Virginia there. I guess kind of a closer semifinal series, but other than that, nothing too crazy on the schedule. Lost to Stanford. So I'm not really sure how they made it up to 13, but that's what the rankings say they are. And next off, we have Ole Miss, Washington State, St. Mary's, and Merrimack. Ole Miss returning from a College World Series run last season. Coach J-Rod, he's doing pretty well, obviously, 71% winning percent. Definitely have some, decent wins, some tough losses. Close series there with A&M. Tough loss to Kentucky, but they did sweep them earlier in the year. Auburn was just a weird team. They just did terrible in non-conference and then just really did well in the SEC somehow. They just had terrible non-conference games, and once the SEC started, it just started rolling, but obviously not enough to make it to the tournament. They needed a automatic bid, but couldn't get to it. But yeah, Ole Miss definitely got some good wins. Mississippi State, Alabama, um, uh, sweep over Michigan as well. And we have Washington State, which did okay in the Pac-12, went 15-15. So I don't really expect too much out of them. I think maybe if they did a little bit better, they'd go a little bit higher. But yeah, so far there's nothing really crazy on here. I guess Long Island's a decent win. Other than that, though, nothing really too noticeable. I guess Marquette and Monmouth as well. Then we have Merrimack. So they've done pretty decent all season. They got some bad losses on here to UNLV, Citadel, Central Connecticut. But this is a fairly new team overall. They just came in a few seasons back in season 8. So Coach Sam's been able to get this program up and running here. This is going to be their 4th tournament. Yep, their 4th appearance. We'll see if he can pull an upset here, but I'm not sure he can take down Ole Miss. But they play in the first game, so we'll see what happens there. And next off, we have Oregon State, Mississippi State, UNH, and Air Force. Obviously, 2 decent teams right here. I do think Mississippi State's going to take this group. Obviously, Terry Collins Jr. is a fantastic coach. He's got this program rolling now. I think they'll be even better next season because I believe, he made the tournament last year. He's only been here for a couple seasons, so he's been turning this program around slowly here. Obviously, some wins going up. And so he's got them trending in the right direction, and definitely think they're better than Oregon State. So I do think they can pull the upset in the group. It's not a huge upset, an 18-15. Oregon State, they're a decent team, but they've got really nothing crazy noticeable. Got swept by Oregon, beat by Washington State. Nothing big in the non-conference. Lost to Ohio State. So yeah, I definitely think it'll be a close group, but Mississippi State's got the edge there. And then last but not least, we have Michigan, Seton Hall, Jackson State, and James Madison. I think this might be, a good series for Michigan State and Seton Hall, but I do think Michigan's a, far better team quality wise. Um, Obviously came in second in the Big, beat Maryland, beat Penn State, Purdue, Wisconsin. So they're definitely a good team here. Um, Definitely, can get through to the Supers and maybe make some noise there. Unfortunately, being a 16 seed, they might end up facing Oregon or something like that, or high seed, one of the first four. So definitely it'd be tougher for them to get to the College World Series, but I mean we've seen some crazy upsets in Supers before. And Seton Hall, let's see what they've done this season. Obviously won the Big East, swept the tournament, beat Marquette, Long Island. Oh no, they lost Long Island. Um, Other than that, nothing really too noticeable. I guess a win over Wisconsin, pretty decent. But yeah, so I don't think they'll be too much of a challenge for Michigan. So I guess we'll see. But those are just my predictions and the way I viewed the season. Definitely leave a comment. If you think something's a little different or you think some team's not getting too much respect on here. But I hope you enjoy the video and good luck in the tournament.